Hello and welcome to Married MBA. Today I'm your host, Cameron Rich, and joining me is a man who has almost as cool of a last name as me, Dr. Money.
We're probably related.
Welcome to the show.
Nice to be here, Cameron.
Yes, nice to have you. Just relishing this opportunity I have here to fire questions at you after you've been calling on me all semester in class.
Turnabout's fair play, isn't it?
I have a proposal for you. We'll call it a peace offering or a truce.
Fair enough.
I'll take it easy on you here. You take it easy on me in class.
Can we negotiate that?
Well, let me just tell you this. In class, there's about 30 to 40 people that watch me when you call on me. There's thousands of people watching this right here. So this is a rather generous offer on my part.
That is a generous offer.
Okay, all
We'll
right.
take it. We'll take it. I'll take it.
Shake. Tough negotiator. All right, we're here to discuss salary negotiations. And let's start out by talking about whether students should bring up salary or if they should wait for the company they're interviewing with to bring it up.
Well, it's likely that with a larger company, the company representative will bring it up.
Yeah.
And you should probably wait for that to happen. With smaller companies, it's just as likely that they're going to ask you, what should we pay you, in essence. Right?
Yeah.
And this is a difficult question. It's an emotional subject. Salaries, what you're going to get paid. That's something that everybody has to wrestle with.
Yeah.
And so, and here's a demonstration of that. Help from Dilbert there. What might happen to you is that you won't get fired over this, of course, not before you're hired, but yes. It figures into how your salary progression will go in the company from then on, right? Yeah. Because whatever number you come in at, that's what you base your increases on. So, however you bring it up, if it's brought up before it's time, it's going to sound like, well, what can you do for me?
Yeah.
And that's not a great question. But if you are required to bring it up with a small company, for example,
if they ask you ahead of time, how much?
Yeah, you better have a question. You better have an answer to that question.
Okay.
And you can do your research. Lots of ways to do that these days. The internet makes it easier. But the concept of anchoring comes in here. You need to set that anchor or that opening offer, so to speak, just outside what you would be willing to accept, or outside what we call the ZOPA, the zone of potential agreement, so that you'll end up at somewhere that's a place that's acceptable to you.
Okay, so you're saying you should put a number a little bit higher than what you want, that way you have room to negotiate?
That's right, because first offer, best offer, last offer is probably not the way to go, especially if you're in a position of trying to get a job, and you don't have a whole lot of power in this situation.
Okay, and when a lot of people think of job offer negotiations, they just think of salary. There's a lot more to it, though, right?
Excellent point. Yes, the number of salary is something we typically get started and finished on. Oh, that's all I've got to talk about. No, there's a lot more you can talk about that adds value. We've talked about in negotiation class, creating the value before you claim the value. And part of creating the value is what else is out there for you to negotiate about when it comes to compensation. For example, sign-on bonus. Those are fairly common. Moving allowances. Now, 3 key words in a job negotiator's life is gross it up.
Yeah.
That is, will they make the gross amount equivalent to the difference in the taxes that you'll have to pay on that sign-on bonus or the moving allowance to get you the net of the sign-on bonus. Let's say it's $10,000. You don't want to pay the taxes in that nanosecond of salary band that you get into for tax purposes, because that $10,000 goes to something a lot less.
So you're saying if they're giving you a $10,000 bonus, you want to pocket the $10,000 and then they pay you the taxes. So you're actually getting a higher bonus, but you're pocketing $10,000.
Right. That's called grossing it up. So the sign-on bonus they pay you is going to be more than $10,000, so that the net after taxes is $10,000.
Okay. Now in this example, let's suggest I get an offer that I really need more money. I like the job, it's where I want to work, but I really need more money. How should I approach that?
Well, first of all, you should realize that negotiators who ask for more typically get more.
Yeah.
I didn't write the rules of negotiation, but I have somewhat of an understanding of what they are. That if you, here's Dilbert again helping us out, I ask for so little, and boy do I get it. That is not the way you want to approach a negotiation. Now that doesn't mean you ask for so much that you come across as arrogant or you're trying to take advantage of the company.
Okay.
But you can ask for more. The best reason to ask for more is because you really need it for something like educational debt, for something like, well, I need to start my family on insurance sooner than the 90-day waiting period, some non-salary components that you can ask for.
Okay.
The worst reason to ask for more is because I'm worth it. I'm just an excellent candidate, and I just whatever you pay me, it's not going to be enough. That's the message you're sending when in the I'm worth it. And you should try a little piece of advice to get paid just a little less than you're worth, and not a little more.
Okay.
A little less than you're worth, not a little more, so that at the end of the review period, they're not thinking, oh, what are we paying Cameron here? Wow, that's way too much for what he's doing. And rather, you want them to be thinking, wow, that's not enough for what Cameron, he's doing way more than what we're paying for. A little less than you're worth and not a little more.
Okay, that's great advice. Now, let's talk about the exploding offer.
You
get an offer, you're not sure if you want to accept it or not, but they give you a deadline. You need to let us know by X date. Yeah,
that's a tough one because ideally you want all of your offers to come in on a Friday and you consider them over the next 2 weeks it doesn't usually work that way. Okay. So what do? You have to manage the deadlines, you have to manage the time. And the worst thing you can do, of course, is ignore a deadline.
Yeah.
Because in negotiation that typically means you're not interested or they just go on to the next candidate. I've seen that happen. Mm-hmm. If you try something like this, in order to give your offer the serious consideration it deserves, I need at least until blank.
Okay.
And you pick a blank you can hit,
Yeah.
because you can only play this game once.
Yeah.
And along the way in that conversation, you emphasize how much you appreciate the offer and how seriously you do want to consider it, because it is one worth considering. And this depends on how many other offers that are coming in, right?
Yeah.
You should never lie about other offers that you have. That's a bad idea, of course, for a number of reasons. Yeah. But if you have those other offers, it increases your stock price suddenly to talk about them.
Yeah.
Maybe not in specifics. It may not be a good idea. But the fact that you are considering other offers at this time, that is something you should bring
leverage.
up. Oh, it definitely. And in order to make an informed decision about your offer, I need to consider all these at once, and I need at least until blank. And typically, companies don't work on a semester system like we do at the university. So, deadline, you have to try to probe a little bit, see if that is a real deadline, or if it's something that can move. Usually, if you give a response like that, that I need this much more time, usually you're going to get it.
You're going to get it. Okay, well, I feel like we've given our viewers a lot of great information here. We've teamed up together.
You bet.
We've really pushed the awareness of negotiations to our students. I would say we've Batman and Robin this.
You bet.
Do you not agree?
And we've made a good deal, too.
Is this going to help me get an A out of my class? Some participation points.
Definitely participation, extra credit.
Okay, wait, before I let you go, I have a bonus question.
The bonus question, right.
Okay, there's a lot of students out there that are under a lot of stress, working, studying, studying 18 hours a day. Yeah. They may move to another state for their internship, full-time offer. A lot of stress, pressure. Your wife happens to be a marriage counselor.
That she is.
I want you to give it, and this is a completely unselfish question because I have no idea about this topic.
Okay.
But I would like you to give our viewers your number one tip on how to deal with the stress of everything they're going through with their marriages.
As students at this time, I was there as an MBA student with one child and one on the way. I think the best tip that I could give is to make, in negotiations like this, make the understanding a two-way street. Don't just expect your spouse to understand what you're going through, but expect he or she expect of yourself to understand what what he or she is going through.
Yeah.
Marriage is like that. And after 29 years of marital bliss, I hope this is on camera for my wife to see, it comes down, well, I joke in class, it comes down to 2 words. Yes, dear. But actually, and of course, no, dear is not a great answer, but the best answer, again, in a negotiation sense, as my wife has found in her practice, is why, dear? Why do you feel that way? And let's talk about it.
Okay. All right. Well, if any of you need salary negotiation or marriage negotiation help, this is your man. Thanks for joining us, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.